Sorry about that. 29-minute limit, and I had to charge this anyway because it's getting low. But again, I was trying to say at the end of the first part, let me give you guys a prime example of what I'm talking about. You see, when you go through a lot, you go through a lot of personal situations, and especially after you've had one too many. Let's just say that all the stress that you've gone through with those personal situations can get to you, and you start to lash out against those that you don't mean to lash out against. And even though a lot of people look at Ian Flynn writing the characters out of character and the way they were acting, which I admit is a little true, I think what he's trying to do is base it more on reality, saying that, what would you do if you were put in his situation? You know? Now here we have the issue in which both Team Fighters and Team Freedom pretty much are born. Alright, now I can kind of see, even this first issue, I can understand what they're talking about by rinse and repeat. Oh, this one was already open. How about that? Must have slipped it open or something. I don't know. I didn't even notice that till now. Make it easier for people, why don't they? And this is the one with Loop. And originally supposed to have Hershey until the lawsuit happened. can definitely tell where he had to add in Lita and Lyco. And then here's the heart-to-heart story. I know I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's just not the same, you know. I mean, again, I understand Ian's intentions were good. Don't get me wrong about that. Don't get me wrong. I understand his intentions were good. It's just when you're gonna do a story like this, you need to kind of think, okay, how is the other fan bases gonna react? I need to do something. And I know people might say, well, financially, they probably couldn't do what you're probably gonna say. And you know what? Maybe they couldn't, but I think in a sense they could have. I'll give him credit on the drawing of the action sequence there. Now this is kind of telling me right here. I want you to read that. It kind of tells me she does have a bit of a free will in there. It's just because of the modified power ring, it's more like it's kind of very subdued. Like a part of her personality is there, part of the real her is in there or was in there, and it's more like she's kind of surprised about what Tails would do. But you see there, that tells me right there that he was planning for 250 to be the end. Right there. This here. This here. Now, if nobody believes me, you relook it again, alright? Now, you see, this might bother some fans right there. So, being a longtime fan, I can definitely tell that this issue right here was the start of what I think originally Ian wanted to do by leading it to 250 as the conclusion, but I guess we'll now never know. But again, like I said, it's to me, I just have a feeling he was planning on it. It's just my opinion, but I'm going with it on it. I'm going with it. I guess some people call them the plane issues now. You see, you can kind of tell that this is when he said, "Hey, we need to talk," and she says later, before she tells Sybil Sutton to engage. Again, there's this little hints to tell me she was going to, put her back to the way they were. I mean, she was going to regain her free will. That's what I look at. And this also tells me she has armor. Look, her tail is still there. So that basically confirms it's been nothing but weaponized armor. See, and you can tell there's a bit of her in there. I mean, this basically, yeah, it kind of, making her say things that she wouldn't normally say, but still, I think when you read these issues, it leads to it. Again, basically, you could tell that there's been like a back and forth fight struggle for free will. And basically all he did was connect a laser to her head, inside her head. Did not remove the brain, from what I could tell. And it's almost like she could have easily gone to that location right off the bat, but she didn't. And then you kind of look at the expression there. It's almost like target lost, but it's almost like part of her is saddened that it's done, but she's kind of happy. I could just feel it. tell you something, folks. It's really amazing when you look at these. But again, I think, excuse me. I think originally he was planning on having her restored by 250, or at least getting her free will back, fighting to get it back. I really do. Now, of course, this one's all about Team Freedom and the secret freedom fighters who are working to save the city. And also has the issue when August starts to get a little weakened. And you see, this also tells me that they were planning to have him go loony again, and that's Eggman, I should say. You see, instead of just beating through the issues, you gotta find the facts. You gotta basically find the. You just gotta find the little nooks and crannies, if you will, like the little bits and pieces that normally you wouldn't pay attention to. They're kind of like the Easter eggs, if you will, kind of give you, thus by finding those, you kind of get the more full scope of what's originally intended to be. If you kind of catch my drift. And I'm sure some of you do. I'm sure some of you do catch my drift. I'll explain more later after I've opened every single one of these. Hey, like I said, you can't say I didn't keep a promise here. And I like Isabella's design. We never really got to see her, Mina's mother. I really like the design there. It was really cool. And it kind of tells you that his mutation is worsening. And if we get the Krasud reintroduced in this issue. And when Nagas tries to find a new host body as well. And I will admit, I do like Brina's look here. Yeah, it's a little Amy-ish, but hey, Brina is pretty cool. And I like how she basically stands up.